Welcome back to Just Create, where last time we got incredibly rich, got ourselves some insanely overpowered armor and tools, and then discovered the magical properties of mushrooms. We also attempted to finish up the paths around our base, but I still haven't got round to finishing those, so hopefully we can get to them today. And apologies for my raspy voice this fine day. I've only been home for 3 of the last 14 days thanks to TwitchCon, followed by my younger brother Stag Do, and I think I'm feeling the effects of that. But there's no time to wait. We've only got a matter of hours to come up with a plan to unalive Throlash. Let me explain. Although to explain, first I need to head to the shopping district. Really need to speed up this door. What in the world is going on here? Oh, it's a ship in a bottle. Who's done that? Okay, that's very clever. That's cool. I like that. Is that a way in? No, it's not. Just seems to be a small room. Oh, there is a sign, however. Ship in bottle. I mean, yes, it very much is a ship in a bottle. Oh my days, that's going to take forever to take this down. Can't leave our boat trapped in here the whole time. We'll deal with that later. Anyway, we're getting distracted again. This is what we're here for. The first annual throw-off. Basically, what I need to do is use Create to come up with a very cool way to kill Throlash. There's a 20 diamonds entry fee, there's going to be prizes for first, second, and third, and he wants lots of whimsy. Now, the only slight problem is that the throw-off is actually happening in just a few hours, and, well, referring back to the fact I've only been home for 3 days in the last 2 weeks, I've not had time to plan a single thing. But I do have a few hours. There's been a bunch of entries. What have we got? We've got Chosen, Foxy, Eggs, Froggy and Blockdown, and Rofo have all come up with something. And I'm hoping we're going to have time to come up with something as well and also enter the competition. The question is, what are we going to do? I mean, there's a whole bunch of options with Create. We could do something with crushing wheels or drills or saws. We could run him over with a train. We could use a very slow piston to push him off a cliff. Then we could also integrate vanilla things like dripstone or anvils, or even mobs like creepers, pillagers, wardens, or even one of those pesky little chickens. But I really don't know. And because we've only got a couple of hours, I think the best way to design a killing machine is going to be to jump over to a creative flat world and see what we can come up with in the next couple of hours. Right, so over here in a creative world, I want to do a few tests about how much damage stuff does. So first up, let's go for crushing wheels, which I'm fairly sure, no matter how fast or slow they're going, will always kill the player. Though not if they're in creative mode, so let's go to survival. Yep, that's definitely going to work every time, no matter the speed, so I don't think we want to use crushing wheels, because that's just going to be boring. Next up, let's test the mechanical saw. So how much damage does this do at a slow speed? Okay, so if you just stand there, you might get past it, you might not. But the problem with this one is going to be consistency, because I kind of bounced around a bit there, so I guess, like, does it depend where you're standing? Yeah, so that time it threw me off to the side. So let's stop that from happening with a little barrier. And now let's see if we can get more control over this. Probably not. That time it did 4 hearts of damage. Let's go again and see what happens this time. If it consistently does a decent amount of damage, or the same amount of damage. Nope, not at all. Not helpful. What about if the player is sitting in a minecart? That help? Nope, the minecart just gets destroyed. So, yeah, saws, I mean, they do damage. They're not guaranteed to kill you, but they might kill you, and you have no control over how much damage they actually do. So I don't know if we'll use them. Now, next up, drills. We know drills do damage. They seem to do half a heart each time they hit you. So that's something we could potentially have control over if we were to sort of push them in and out, in and out. In fact, could we also do that with the saws? If I was to put a saw there, give it some power. What happens if I just walk into that? Okay, so also half a heart. So both of these things do half a heart if we were to just sort of push them into the player instead of the player being pushed into them. They are an option. Now, another option is to use a deployer, because if we do that and get a wrench, set that to attack mode. If I stand here, it will punch me. Does it do that even if it's going incredibly slow? Yes, and once again, half a heart. But if we gave this guy a soggy cardboard tube, how much damage will it do now? Oh, none, because I'm in creative. However, in fact, Oh, okay, that's interesting. So if we use the cardboard tubes, we can bounce Throlash around. Something we could do is make Throlash stand, get punched, hit a saw. If we were to remove those blocks, we could then make him drop down. So we could do some kind of rude Goldberg machine type thing. So maybe we could do something like this and just have him sort of like travel along a route, getting bounced around, moved by belts, and just gradually damaged by little things all along the way. And we could have him get gradually weaker and weaker via a variety of different things, and then at the end, have him get eaten by a chicken. But before we get to designing this machine, there's probably going to be some other create items we can use, such as lava in a tank. I think what we can actually do with this, if I remember correctly, if we put a little pump here, another pipe, and a sprinkler, give that some power, I think we can actually rain lava down. Yes. Have a nice little lava shower. But if we were to have that, say, over a belt, it would help if I put the belt in the right place. Let me try that again. Could you... Yeah, there we go. That's doing a bit of damage. Not much, though. Look at that. Well, that's quite good. And if you had a tank next to it, just like that, that's full of water, what you could probably do is... Let's go back a little bit further. See when we start burning. Right about here. Then the water should put us out. Oh, water did not put me out. So I guess what you'd probably want is some kind of trigger system, because otherwise it appears this has a range of like 2 blocks out here, so you actually start burning before you get under it. But I guess if you had a trigger system, that could be useful. So we've got a few ways of causing damage here, but we need to think about transportation. I think what I actually want to do is make this in some kind of a cube, which will be bigger than this, but basically have a platform where everything takes place. It might be quite nice to have a little seating area as well, just so people can sit down and watch the entertainment. In fact, even better than that, why don't I get the audience involved? I don't know how many people are going to be watching, but it would be quite fun if the audience could actually affect, I guess, what's happening to Throlash in here. That could be a lot of fun. So let's just quickly create an area to build on, designing it a little bit like a stage of sorts, I guess. There we go, something like that. We've got a viewing area, and then we've got the area where bad things are going to happen to Throlash. Now, first up, we're going to need somewhere for Throlash to be, and I think literally just putting him in a seat like this is going to be the way to go. And I think the way that I'm going to get the audience involved is by giving them all snowballs or potato cannons or something like that. And what they'll be able to do is throw snowballs at various targets and places around. And depending what they hit, it will activate different things, which will do damage to Throlash. What I'm going to do is actually move this back a little bit further and put Throlash here. Then I'm going to put a sticky mechanical piston there. Then we're going to crank that up 3 blocks. And that's going to connect to our seat. So now, we can make the seat go up and down. We set this to only place when anchor destroyed. That means we'll be able to make it go up and down just a little bit at a time. Now, I'm just going to adjust this slightly and have the seat there, sticking out the front. Then we'll put the mechanical piston in. I've added 6 poles to that piston. That means it's going to be able to go up 6 blocks. So here, which means the max height the seat's going to get to is there. And I think what I want to do is have different things on each level that will damage Throlash. And maybe we could have a little betting system where you can bet on what thing it is you think that's actually going to finish him off. And then we could have different targets that make the piston go up and down depending which one's active. So on this level, for example, we could have deployers. This level maybe drills. Then we can jam in a couple of saws on this level. And with these ones, I guess what we could do is maybe put target blocks on those. And then when we hit them with snowballs... No, that's not working. Okay, so sticky pistons can't move create stuff. That's good to know. So maybe what we should do with these ones is actually bring them in a little bit closer. And then we'll just come up with a way to activate and deactivate clutches, which, to be honest with you, could probably be as simple as using target blocks on the front, putting clutches on the back. Then if we just quickly power all of this... maybe not. It powers it by default. So I guess it would have to be something like that. And then when you hit the targets... No, that's not turning off my torch. Couldn't we just do it with redstone links? Let's just make this one double snowball and then wrench it. And then we could essentially put the target anywhere. Yeah, there we go. Just something like that. Every time it gets hit, the drill does a little spin. So if Throlash was sitting here and then the target block got hit, which is going to be very difficult from here, let's be honest. What that'll actually do is spin this briefly and do a little bit of damage. So we're making progress on my weird machine here. If you throw one down here, it will turn on the drills. If you throw one here, it'll do the saws. And if you throw one here, it will kind of, but not really, do the little fist bump thing down the bottom here. But as you can see, it's not making a lot of progress. So what I'm actually going to do is change this one to the drills, change this one to the punching, and then we're going to add a pulse extender in here. But wait a minute, I need to actually do this. Put the torch there. That do the job? Yes, there we go. That's made them do 2 punches, 2 and a bit. So we can probably lower this to about 4 seconds. Quickly replace these just to reset them. Now when we throw a snowball, it does a punch, and then it stops. Okay, that's good enough. So we have 3 ways to hurt Throlash so far, but we still don't have a way to actually control the seat, so maybe we should do that next. Okay, we're making progress. What I've decided to do is get rid of the seat altogether, because I've realized we want to have this actually placed, so every time something gets hit, he's either going up a notch or down a notch. That means if we have a seat here and it goes up by 1 notch, when the drills get hit, it's going to destroy the seat. So instead, we're just going to have Throlash stand on that platform there, and I'm going to put a wall of glass in front of it so he can't get out. There we go. We'll just have a framed glass door at the bottom for him to step in. But I've also framed out the stage a little bit to make it look a little bit better. That means when people are sitting over here now, they can throw snowballs that way to make the platform go down. They can throw them at the top to make the platform go up. And then, of course, you've got the drills, you've got the saws, and then you've got the punchy things. But if we hit this a couple more times, we can see how high the platform goes up. That is max height there. So what we need is something else that's going to hurt him at this level and potentially even the level above. Now, what could we do? Could we maybe have a slicer at the top here with a spinning knife? I mean, I assume that's going to do damage. Let's quickly find out, shall we? Let's just jam a vertical gearbox in there. That should get it spinning. And nope, that doesn't do damage. That's a shame, because it looks good. Maybe what we could do is actually have a couple of deployers, set them to attack and give them knives. That means these ones will do damage, and these ones are just for show. I'm going to hook these deployers up to the same signal as the ones at the bottom. Now when a snowball hits those, both sets of arms will go off. So now we just need one more thing here. But I don't know what's left that could do damage. Besides maybe the crushing wheels. Maybe we could do something with those. Although if I'm going to do that, I'm probably better off actually just losing this bit altogether. Moving these deployers down a block. So then what we can do is put some gearboxes in there with crushing wheels. Bring that out here. Stick in a clutch. Then we just need one last target, which is a bit annoying because it's quite nicely balanced at the moment. Maybe we could just double up and have 2 targets for the crushing wheels. In fact, we can't do that because of the way the signals work. So I guess we'll just have a fake target. That's fine. Alrighty, looking good. Now what I need to do is actually sort out a proper power source because, of course, we won't be able to use a creative motor in the game. So let's maybe hide something under here. A few minutes later, I think we're finished. I've added some stairs on the side here, and there's also a separate set of stairs so Throlash can get up on stage. I've added in lots of barrels here, which we're going to fill up with snowballs, and there's also barrels at the feet of these seats here. I mean, I have no idea how many people on the server are actually coming, but there is literally enough seats for everyone, and an extra one. But everything is in working order, and if we go around the back here, when it comes to power, we've just got to come in here and dump down lots of water. Nice and simple. And that means we have enough power to do everything we need to over here. Oh, why is that one not working? Up is working. Down is now also working, but wasn't for a moment there. Oh, I know what's going on there. That'd be because I was blocking the shaft from going down any further. So I have just reduced our power output, but hopefully it's still going to be okay. That now works. We can go up, we can go down, we can get the crushing wheels going, we can just spam all of these things. Excellent. And then what we'll do is we'll turn this thing into a contraption so we can just dump it down wherever the competition's happening. But I think this should be a lot of fun. Hopefully he won't die too quickly. So let's make a schematic of this. We'll call it the throw-off stage. And now we know we actually have a machine, we can enter the competition properly, which means we need some money. And wow, Foxy's rich. I want to be the richest, but I'm a fair amount behind him. So I need 20 diamonds. We'll be Captain Beardstone. Right, we haven't got long till the competition starts, so we need to go collect everything and actually build this thing in the server. And we need to remove that glass bottle around our boat, otherwise we're never going to be able to use it. Well, I guess I can still use it, I just can't move it. So we're going to need a schematic cannon, a schematic, and a schematic table. Going to need a clipboard so we can get everything we need. And we're going to need to turn on our storage system, otherwise I'm not going to get anything. Now, let's see what we're going to need to build this. Lots of stuff. So first up, let's see what we can get from this guy. And if we put our bag next to the cannon and try that again, we can see what we still need to get. So lots of andesite casings, some barrels, some seats, lots of panels, a few other little bits and bobs. Okay, that's not too bad. Should be able to sort that out fairly easily. So let's get the casings on the go while we work on getting the other bits together, and hopefully this won't take too long. Now, I also need a bunch of framed glass, and the good news is that should be fairly easy. Plenty of it around. Okay, we now have everything we need, apart from a little bit of gunpowder to actually set the cannon off. So we're just going to put this in a better place to blast it into existence, and I'm thinking on top of the bottle might work well. If we do it there, we can then put the contraption down and pick it up. So let's get this going. Now I should just be able to pick this up. Oh, I appear to have left behind a couple of redstone links and a block. That's that block there. And what redstone links came off? So that would be this one here. Okay, I think we're mostly good. We seem to have a broken piston. I'm sure if we break and replace that, that'll be fine. We're going to need to dump down some water. But other than that, I think we're okay. But maybe we should go find somewhere to actually put this. That way we can definitely get it set up properly. Oh, I've found a suitable location. We've just decided to put it down here, and a trader's just spawned in. Hey, buddy. Come to see the new stage. And it's basically just in the valley next to my base for now. But I've got it all set up with the water. I just need to check and make sure that everything works. So, yep, the piston is going up and is going down. Doors are working. Drills are working. Crushing wheels are working. And all the punchy things are working. Excellent. So all I need to do now is get loads of snowballs and stick them in these barrels. I do have a bunch of snowballs already, but I've also got a whole bunch of snow blocks as well. Let's just get all the snowballs. A short while later, we've now got snowballs loaded up in all of these barrels. Everything is set up and tested and working, but I do want to add a little bit more decoration. I've got an idea. I'm gonna grab some graffiti. Gonna extend these poles here a little bit. And if we go here and look at players, we should be able to find... Yes, there we go, these. The actual banners. There we go, that's looking a bit better. Oh, and we've already got a guest. Should probably go sleep. There we go, it's looking much better in daylight. And it looks like the zombies burned to death as well. So we haven't got long until the throw-off begins, but there might be enough time for me to actually start removing this thing. It looks like it's going to take a while. Foxy's just logged on. I wonder if he had anything to do with this. Let's grab some mushrooms, make myself tiny, and go find him. Aha, he appears to be underground. Hey, man.
You're looking kind of tiny there, fella.
Oh. There we go, is that better?
Sure.
You don't happen to know anything about why my ship is currently in a bottle?
I wondered about that as I was heading my way back to my base. I did think, I wasn't expecting Mr. Beardstone to put his ship in a glass bottle, but it is a nice ship, and I can appreciate why you want to keep it safe and put it on a shelf somewhere.
But no. I didn't put it in a bottle. I just thought you might have something to do with it.
Me? I've been busy, Mr. Beardstone. I don't know if you've noticed, but I haven't been online for a week.
I was literally just saying at the start of my video how I've been online like 3 days in the last 14.
But the problem is, Miss Beardstone, I can hardly see over at my base. I'm digging this out, and I'm getting my frames per second is really bad. Yeah, so my frames per second, I have none over here. I'm down to like 8 render distance, and I'm still just choppy.
That's weird.
Have you got any?
Frames?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got like 80.
What am I on at the minute? 120 it says, but it's choppy. It's choppy. I can't cope with choppy, Mr. Beardstone. I won't have it.
Oh dear. Well, I mean, I'll be moving away from Spawn very soon.
Yeah, same.
I keep meaning to. I've been meaning to for like the last 3 episodes, but I just keep getting distracted.
Have you done your paths yet?
It's like, this seems to be an unfortunate mess.
This is what happens when you leave the server for a few days. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm probably about an hour and 20 minutes in so far.
Oh no. I mentioned to Throlash that I could just add this real quick to the wrench list.
Oh, please.
Yeah, it takes me a second.
That would be incredible.
Yeah.
Woo! I'm off. Toastman and Froggy then helped me dismantle the next part of the bottle, but then it was finally time for the throw-off.
Thanks everybody for coming to the first annual throw-off event. Woo! I wish I put firework dispensers out.
Stop everything. That's as much as I can really show you of this event because Throlash has put loads of work into making this happen and his video's out next Wednesday. I don't really want to spoil everyone else's machines and I don't want to show the results. So make sure you check out his video next Wednesday. Needless to say, my machine was a little bit chaotic. However, it did work nicely. I mean, Throlash was unalived and everyone had fun. That was the goal. Anyhow, you may have also noticed that the bottle is now gone. That's because after the event, everyone chipped in and helped me get rid of it. It still took about 20 minutes, even with 7 of us doing it. But the good news is that means we're now able to move our boats. But not before I finish these paths. I'm determined to get this done today. Hopefully we can get a few custom trees down and sort out this hillside here a bit as well. And I want to remove some of the leaves from the building, add some snow instead, because that would make much more sense up here, and just generally add a few more finishing touches. But I think the first thing I want to do is the path that's going to wrap around this mountain. So I think I'm going to grab some planks, I'm going to get my shovel out, and then we're going to carve and build a path around this mountainside. And that should link us up nicely with Frog and Blockdown. And I think the best place to join up is actually going to be down the front here at Blockdown's base. So we might need to put in some stairs that sort of go up the mountainside here, but I reckon we can make this work. So let's do what should be the simpler bit first and wrap this bit around the mountain. Just carve it all in roughly for now and then we can make it look nice later. So almost straight away on this one, we're going to need to build out a little platform around the side here. So we're making progress. I've still got to add some detailing, but I have got the rope bridge on the side, or at least the rope rails, I should say. Got a rough stair set that goes down this way, goes into the side of the mountain. We're going to need to get some different blocks to make all of this look nice. And I want to get rid of this weird overhang. Let's quickly do that now. Then this path is going to wrap around this way. That will bring us back out onto the side of the mountain. Then we just need to make our way down here, basically, and wrap around to the path over there. So maybe we could have a path that sort of goes down at an angle over here. And I think we're going to need to make use of stairs over here as well, because we just don't really have the space to get ramps in all the way. So I've got this slopey bit of path in. It comes down to these stairs. Now I need to swoop it down and round. This could be the tricky parts. So that's another bit of path in that brings us down to this level, and this next bit should be fairly straightforward. And there we go. That has got us linked up down to Blockdown's base, which means now we can run the whole length of this path and get back to our base. It's going to make traversing over here a whole lot easier. I've just got a whole lot of tidying up to do. I've got some decorating to do. We need to add snow in places. I need to add some variation to these rocks and things. We're probably going to want a few bushes in certain places. And of course, we're going to need lighting. It's a lot still to do, but it's great to see it coming together finally. And in regards to connecting to Foxy, I think it'll probably make sense just to have a path that runs up the side here. But I don't know if Foxy has plans for this side of his mountain, so I don't want to do that just yet. Hopefully I'll be able to catch him later today at some point. But for now, let's just finish up what we can do and get this path here looking good. Short while later, and the path is now looking a whole lot better. We've got some lighting, we've got some leaves, I've also put a bit of texture in, and the cave's looking pretty good too. Glad I finally got that done. It's been a long time coming. But now what I need to do is hide that station. And I think the best thing for me to do is maybe to make a custom tree and just kind of embed that somewhere in the trunk. Make sure it's hidden. And then maybe I'm going to add another couple of trees up on this hill as well. And we're going to keep things simple and make them pine trees because that's something I can actually achieve. However, I'm going to need a whole lot more leaves than this. So let's go find a spruce forest. And I believe there is actually one. Yep, there we go. Look, just over there. And we're going to make a whole bunch of shears and then get chopping. And I think I'd quite like to get a bit of birch as well to mix in with this so that we're not just using the same leaves on the entire tree. My magnet will probably come in handy here as well. Many leaves have been acquired and I think I've got everything I need to start designing some trees. And this first one one here is not going to be particularly large. If I make it too tall, it's going to get in the way of the boat at the top. But we're going to use a mix of full log blocks. We're going to use some of these copycat beams and a few dark oak fences on top. That's going to have to be it for the height of our first one. But it's a bit dark down here. Let's just quickly yank the brightness up. There we go. Now we can see what we're doing. Then we're going to use some copycat boards to cover up the station. Although on one side, I want to use a trapdoor so we can still access it. And now we're just going to build out some branches. Just a rough framework. And then we're going to use spruce and birch leaves. And we want to make sure we're not putting on too many leaves, but we also want to make sure that we're forming the shape of a pine tree. So we want to make sure we're leaving air holes. We're going to cover up the tops of all of the fence posts. We'll mix in a few birch leaves. Okay, so I have made a tree. Not very good. Been a while since I've made a tree and I'm already bad at them to begin with. I can still access the station from here, so that's good. But I was going to put a few trees on this hill, and if they're going to keep coming out like that, then this hill's not going to look very good. Don't worry, I have an idea, and it's a genius idea. And that is to come over here to Perfect World 2, where I built this theme park. Oh, we could go into Cogsburg. We could quickly go on the ride, couldn't we, while we're here? Been a while since we've been on the roller coaster. It'd be rude not to. Let's go here for a front row seat. Just in time. Now let's give this thing a ride. Woo! Been so long since we've been over here. I've missed this ride. Whee! Oh, down into the tunnel. Around the back alleys. Down into another tunnel. Oh, this is so much fun. I need to build another roller coaster. Maybe I could build some kind of pirate-themed ride or something somewhere. That would be fun. Although it does appear all the sound effects in this area have stopped working. That's a shame. But yes, a roller coaster. I really should make another one of these. But this isn't what we're here for. What we need is over there. In fact, you can see them in the distance. Lots and lots of trees. And over here, we have small, medium, and large trees. So we could just grab schematics of these and then stick them all over our mountain. Oh, and our log flume as well. Oh, this was such a fun build. Although on this world download, we are missing a few of the rides that were over here. But it's fine. It's got the trees. That's what we really need. So let's make some schematics. That's a small spruce. Got a medium spruce. Now we just need a large one. There we go. So now what I can do is load up those schematics in this world. Decide where we might want to place some. I think I just looked at the leggy bendy man. Let me just deal with that. But as I was saying, what I can now do is just decide where to put some of these. Load up the cannon, put down my backpack, and just double check and make sure I've actually got everything I need. Which means I need a clipboard. I need some vertical steps and copycat walls. Let's get those in there, set this thing off. And now we're going to get lots of trees nice and quickly, and they're ones I've designed in the past, so I don't feel bad. Although I do feel a little bit bad because I put the wrong schematic in it and now I've got a tree growing through my boat. Yeah, I was supposed to use this one, not that one. Whoops. So let's quickly fix this and try that again. Right, we should have the right tree this time. There we go, that's better. Now we just need more trees. Many more trees. Well, I've almost run out of leaves now, but we've got a whole bunch of trees in, and I think that's looking pretty good. However, we also have a whole bunch of dark patches, so I need to get some lighting down here. Otherwise, we're going to have creepers and zombies and all sorts all over the place. In fact, I think he's going for me. Uh-oh. Get out of it. So let's just clear up our mess here. Go get some lighting of some kind. I'm thinking shroom lights hidden under moss. Now let's put our brightness back down to 100 so we can actually see where the proper dark patches are. And let's just get to lighting up this mountain. I think I want to have a little campsite here as well. We'll mix in a bit of coarse dirt, maybe some rooted dirt, just to mess up the ground around here a little bit. But with a little campsite like this, we can add some light without it just being more hidden shroom lights. I am going to mix in a bit of coarse dirt at the bases of some of these trees. There we go, that's lighting sorted. And I might add some more trees in future, but I don't want to use the same design too many times. But that's definitely looking a lot better up there. And the last thing remaining in this area is to get a bridge over here across to Chosen, which I guess is going to be connecting up around here somewhere. I did actually put in a line earlier connecting from his side to my side, but I want to run that by Chosen first before I make any progress. So with that in mind, I think it's about time we sailed off to our new homeland. So let's prep our boat for takeoff. We need to pick up the water for storage. Our workshop is currently not running, so that's okay. We need to lift the drawbridge. We need to actually assemble the train. And now we're ready to leave, although it would be rude not to take this with me. I mean, it's already on a contraption. I didn't even do that. Oh, is it not glued together? Not to worry, I can change that. There we go. Easiest heist ever. But if Silent will leave his diamonds laying around, I'm gonna take them. Right then, sir. Take us away. Let's go.